Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. If you're new, then welcome to this channel. Well, today we are going to build one more interesting Python project, and this time we are going to use Tkinter. Yeah, in the previous two projects also we used Tkinter. Actually, these projects are based on Tkinter, and if you need any Tkinter basics, then there will be the link in the description. You can just go there and check it out if you want to learn something about Tkinter. Okay, and today we are going to build Python login system using Tkinter. Let me show you how that exactly looks. Well, yeah, it looks something like this. Here we are going to divide this window into two frames. If you observe, even in the previous project, even in that Bitcoin price tracker, we actually divided that window into two frames, and one frame is for heading and the other frame is for body. So in the same way, we are going to divide this window into two parts, and the first part will be frame head and the second part will be frame body. In the frame head, we are going to keep login and this label here, and here we are going to create one label and entry for name and one set of label and entry for password, and we are just going to create a button, and later we are going to make it function. For example, if you give coder and if you give 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, if either username and password is wrong, it's gonna show you a message which is called check username and password. Like how we generated this message box is there is a module called message box from Python, and that module is actually from Tkinter. You're just going to say from Tkinter import that message box, and you're going to use that, and you're going to drop the text that you wanna represent to the user here. For example, here the username and password, one of them might be wrong, so if that's the case, then it's gonna show us the error check username and password. I'll let you know how to do that, and if the username and password is correct, then at the time it's gonna show you welcome and username. For example, welcome John, welcome coder, something like that. And yeah, even for that we are going to use the same message box. The thing is, we are just going to change those parameters over there, and yeah, we are going to play with this thing. So yeah, let's start coding. Let's create this interface for now. Okay, I'll explain you everything in detail while coding. Right now I cannot explain you. Even if I explain you, it'll be a bit confusing for you guys, so I don't want to make a mess. Okay, let's start coding. So the first and foremost thing is we need a window, but before that we need Tkinter, because from Tkinter we are going to create the window, right? So yeah, let's do that. From Tkinter, import everything. If you need anything in case, you can just import everything. And we also need TK and TTK because some of them are under TK and TTK. Okay, let's do this. From Tkinter, import TK and TTK. First, let us create a window. Window equal to TK. I don't give any title. If you want, you can give. And let's give Windows geometry. Window dot geometry 310 by 300. Let's try this one. Play with those numbers until you get the desired size of the window. And yeah, let's see how it is exactly looking. So for that, just give window.main loop. And if you run this one, you're gonna see a cool, interesting window with the basic background color. And let's change this background color. Let's configure this window. So window.configure, just give background color or background, just give white. Oh yeah, now we have an interesting white window which is looking so cool. I think you can even give BG here if I'm not wrong. You can just give BG. It's gonna work anyway. You can use either background or you can use BG. It's gonna work either way, okay? Instead of using the colors like this, let's create a color palette for us. So let's give colors. So we are using white, right? So color 1 will be white for now. just use color 1 here. Okay. So now we have a window. Let's make it non-resizable. So just use window.resizable. Just give width equal to false and height equal to false. So that it will be easy for us to manage with this one. Okay, now we have a window. Now we have to divide this window into 2 frames, right? In frame 1, we are going to put this login, and in frame 2, we are going to create a set of labels and entry so that it looks like a login form. Okay, let's do it. So let's give frame up equal to just give frame. In this window, we need this frame, right? So just give window and give width, for example, 310. The width must match with this width, okay? Just give width 310. So width is 310. Wait, there's a mess. Just give width equal to 310. Height equal to 50. 50 pixels. And yeah, let's see, the background color may be black. Just give black here. Yeah, let's see, give black and just give CO2 here, color 2. And let's place this frame. So frame up dark grid. Frame up dark grid, just give row equal to 0 and column equal to 0, and let's see how it looks. And let us also create frame down, okay? Do the same thing. Instead of frame up, just give frame down. Just give frame down here. Frame down. And yeah, here we have one frame up and frame down, and this will be row 1 and column 0. And let's change this background color to blue. But this time we have to change the height of this frame down so that it have to, adapt this entire window, the remaining part of the window. How can we do that? We have to increase the height of that, and let's give 300. Yeah, we need something like this. So here we are going to put our login, and here we are going to create our form, username and password. I'm gonna use this color, this blue color for now, okay? Let me give that color here. CO3 equal to, yeah, and let's give here CO3 just for checking. CO3. And yeah, we need this color, okay? Anyway, we are not going to use this color here. We're just going to use background color white for both of them, okay? So this will be color 1 and this will be color 1. And now you'll see an empty window with white color. There is no change, but we divided that into 2 frames. We only know that this window has 2 frames. Okay, now let's work on frame up, and later we'll work on frame down. Frame up widgets as comment, so that while you're going through the code, it will be easy for you to understand, okay? So just give heading. This will be heading. We are actually creating this one, okay? This will be the heading. So let's give label. This is actually a label, right? So just give label, and we need that in frame up, not in frame down. We need that in frame up. We are going to give text equal to login. Let us keep that using this uppercase letters, and let us place this one. Just give heading start place. Heading dot place. X equal to 5, and let's give x equal to 5, and let's give y equal to 5. We have a basic login, and let's change its background color. Just give PG equal to CV1, and let's also change its font color. Just give font IV, and the size, let's give 23. Yeah, we have a basic login. It's actually looking like a heading, right? And if you want, you can even give bold here. If you give bold, yeah, if you need something like this, you can give. For now, I'm not gonna give. You can even change this font to Poppins. I'll give Poppins here because I don't know why I love this font, Poppins. Yeah, it's looking decent. And let's also change this foreground color. If you want, you can just give this color. For now, I'm just going to use this black color. Now we have a login heading, and let's also make this something like this, underline for us, so that it looks something like a design and it looks good. So we just need a line, right? So just give line equal to, it's actually a label, and just give frame up because we need this line in frame up, and just give it near to 300 because that's the width that we have. So just give 275. Don't give any text because we don't need any text. Just give height as 1. Background color as, what is this color? CO3. And we have to place this one. So line dot place x equal to 10 and y equal to 45. Play with those numbers. Let us see. So yeah, here we have a line, but it is extending, it's going somewhere, right? Let's decrease it with to maybe, yeah. And just give anchor equal to northwest. Anchor equal to northwest. Oh, okay, there's an error. It must be northwest. Yeah, it's looking good. Now we have a decent label here, and now let's work on this frame body. So this will be frame down widgets. So here in frame down, we need a label called name, and we need an entry, which is the input from where you can take the username from the user. And also we need a label called password, and we are going to take the password from the user. So for that, we need an entry. So we need two sets of label and entry. Name or username equal to label. We need that in frame down, right? Just give frame down text equal to username, or you can just give name if you want, or you can just give username if you want. Let me give name. It'll be easy for us to manage, right? Let me give name and give height as 1 and anchor equal to northwest, and even let's give northwest here, something like this. Northwest, and give font. Let's see how this is exactly looking. Just give username dot place. X equal to 10 and y equal to 10. Yeah, we need just a basic label called name. So let's change it. Let's configure it. Background color 1, and just give foreground color, what is this, black, color 2. Even change the font Poppins, and even change its font size to maybe 12, and even give bold. Yeah, we need something like this. Let's remove this bold. Okay, let's rerun this one. Yeah, here we have a basic name, and let's also create an entry. Okay, let's create an entry. Just give entry name. So this will be e name, so that it's actually related to entry name. Okay, entry. And inside this, we need this in frame down, right? Just give frame down, and let's give width, for example, 25. And justify left. If you need, you can just give font. If you don't need, just give font equal to, just give nothing here, and let me give the size, for example, 15. And yeah, let's place this one. ename dot place x equal to 14 and y equal to 15. Okay, here we have just a basic entry, and let's give highlight thickness equal to 1. So that the user can see it. It'll be easy for a user to see. Let's create a password and an entry for it. Just copy this one and paste it here. And instead of username, just give password here. Password. And this will be e-password, entry password, right? Because we are creating entry for password, just give e-password, and this will be e-password. The only difference is we are going to change the place values of these x and y axis. Just change them, and here this time the x value will be 10 and y value will be 95, because we don't need to change the x value. All we have to change is the y value. So let's change this y value, and this one will be 130. Yeah, here we have a basic username and password. We have to change this text from name to password. That's the only thing that we have to do. Here we have basic username and password. And now it's time to create a button. Like if we click this button, these two inputs will get stored in the database or in the dictionary. I'll let you know how are we going to do that. But for now, just work on this layout. Just create a button, a login button. Just give button confirm or confirmation button. You can give either way. For now, let me use this button confirm. Just create a button, and we need that in frame down. Just give text equal to login, so button confirm dot place x value will be 15 and y value will be 180. Basic login button, right? Let's configure this one. And here just give background color, maybe blue color, the blue one that we have. This color 3. And we need foreground color, which will be color 1, white one. Yeah, and let's increase this width of this login. So just give width equal to 19 and height equal to 2, and just give font Ivy 9 and just give bold here. and let us see. Yeah, here we have a basic thing, and let's give, for example, maybe 29. Okay, let's give 39. Yeah, it's looking good. This one. Now we have a basic login button, but this is not gonna work now because we just created a button, but we didn't created any event here. So in order to do that, let's create an event. So for that, what are we going to do is, first imagine that we have a login page and we have a database where user stored his username and password. And if that user gives his username and password here, and if we click login, there will be a pop-up message and that shows that welcome username. For example, I'm the girl coder, right? And if I give username girl coder and some password, for example 123456789, and if I click login here, and if those usernames and passwords matches, then at that time it must pop a message saying that hey, welcome girl coder, something like that. And if either username and password is wrong, if that's the case, then it have to show us in the pop-up message that username or password is incorrect. It must show something like that. So let's work on that. So in order to do that, we have to create two interesting methods. I'll let you know what are those. For now, just focus on one single method, and that is actually check password. Like if the username and password are correct, it must show us a pop-up saying that hey, welcome girl coder, or something like that, welcome username. Okay, let's do it. And let's just give here, instead of name, just give username so that it will be easy for us to understand. Okay, let's work on this function and let's create credentials. Just imagine that this is actually database where user actually stored his username and password. Okay, for example, I'm the user. If I'm the user, I just create list called credentials and just give girl coder. This is my username and password maybe 123456789. Okay, and this password also let's keep in string so that it will be easy for us while comparing both of them and while verifying the username and password. And let's create a function called check password or check login details. You can give whatever the name, but just give some meaning to it. Create a function in such a way that shows its entire function. Okay, and just give, for example, we need a username, right? Just give name equal to e. From this entry, we are going to get from where? From this entry. So just give ename docket. So just give name equal to ename docket. So it's gonna get that input from that ename, from that entry. It's gonna get that and it's gonna store that in this name. And let's also do that for password as well. Just give password ePassword.get. So from this entry, we got this username and password, but the only difference is here we are going to store that password in the string so that it will be easy for us to verify. So here we have one is username and password. Like for example, there are two different kinds of users. One is admin and one is the user who is actually using that software. The computer must understand what kind of user it is. There are only two kinds of users according to computer. One is admin and one is the user, the third person who is actually using our software or who is actually, using all these kind of things, all these services that we are providing. So if the user is admin, it must say welcome admin. Okay. So for that, we are just going to write a condition called if name equal to admin. If that user is admin and if the password is also admin, most of the times when admins log in, their username and password will be admin all the time, almost all the time. So just give admin, and if the username and password is admin, it's gonna print, there will be a pop-up message saying that welcome admin. Okay, for that we need a message box, right? So how can we do that? For that we just need message box. So just give from Tkinter import message box. So we are going to use this message box, And this message box actually, there's a method called show info. What are we going to do is just give message box dot show info, and in that we are going to pass two parameters, and one is login, which is a string, and the other is we are just going to show the pop-up message saying that welcome admin. Okay, if you run this one, if the username is admin and the password is also admin, then the computer thinks that okay, this guy is an admin, and it's gonna say welcome admin. Okay, it's not true all the time. Sometimes even admin's password will get changed. That's completely out of this topic. For now, just think that there are two types of users. One is admin and one is the user, the person who is actually using the software. And if that user is admin, it's gonna show us a pop-up message saying that welcome admin. And let us see by running this function, where we are going to run this check password function. Any guesses? That's completely cool. All you need to do is just go to this button when you give your username and password, and when you click on that login button, then at that time we have to run this check password. So just give command equal to check password, and you're done. And if you run this one, just give admin and admin, and if you log in, it's gonna say welcome admin. And this is actually the message box that I'm saying. So here in the message box, we actually used two parameters, right? One is login and the other is welcome login. This login is nothing but the heading. If you see this login, this is the one which we actually gave as input here, and welcome admin is the pop-up message that we are seeing. And if you just give okay, and yeah, it's gonna go. And if we click that okay button, then this window must change, and I'll let you know how can we do that. Okay, now we just created just for admin, right? But what if the user is the one who is logging in here? Just give elif if credentials of 0, if name equal to credentials of 0 and password equal to credentials of 1, then at the time you can say that girl coder is the one who is logging in here. At the time computer will understand. If both username and password are equal, then at the time it's gonna show us a pop-up message called just say login, welcome back, and just give username here. How are we going to give that username? We are going to get that username from this credential, so just give credentials of 0. Okay, and if I rerun this one, and if I just give this username, just gonna copy, and this password, and if you give login here, welcome back girl coder. See, it's showing us a pop-up message called welcome back girl coder. Okay, and if you just give okay, here there is nothing that's happening, right? So let's clear this one and let us even change this window to hey welcome back, something like that. Here we're gonna show the message, that same message which is in pop-up, it's gonna show here. So what are we going to do is just give inside this elif itself, just give for widget in frame down. Okay, we are actually going to that widget in frame down, and just give dot winfo children. Just give widget dot destroy, and that's all. It's gonna clear the entire mess over there. And we have two widgets, right? Just copy this and do the same thing for second widget. If you copy this again and if you paste it here, And here, once you destroyed these two widgets, like once you destroyed that username and password widgets, we are actually calling that empty window again. So how can we do that? Just give new window here. This is the function that we are going to create. For now, I didn't create any function. Let be. So here we actually created two events, two scenarios, and one is if the user is admin, it's gonna print welcome admin. If the user is the one, which is the one who is using our software, if the user is me, then it's gonna show us welcome back girl coder. If the user is not one of these two people, the user is not me or the user is not the admin, then if that's the case, then it must show us a pop-up saying that error, check username or password. Okay, so just give, let's keep this under comments for now, and else message box dot, this will be show warning. There are three different ways. One is show error, show info, and show warning. Here I'm going to use this show warning. Just give error, invalid username or password. If you rerun this one, and if you give something, some password, login, see invalid username or password, and this is actually a warning symbol. And if you give error here, showing error, showing error, show error, and if you rerun this one, some username, some password. See, this is the symbol for error, invalid username or password. And if you give show warning, then it's gonna change. So now let's create this new window. Just give df new window. Just get this 4 widgets and copy here. Okay, let's call this function. Okay, here instead of these two things, instead of these username and password, we'll just create a label called name equal to label. We'll just copy this one and we'll paste it here. And if you give, for example, let's change this to, instead of saying, we'll just give welcome plus 0. And yeah, that's it. If you rerun this one, just give username girl coder, password 1234567889, login, and it's gonna show welcome girl coder, but there is a miss something, which is, I think here this entry, just clear this one. And yeah, that's it. Just give some space here. Let's see. And yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys understood what we actually did. Okay, let me explain you again. So what we did is we created a window, and in this window we actually created two things. One is frame up and frame down into two frames. And yeah, in the frame one we have a login widget, and we also have this, we just didn't give any text here, but we created something, a line, something like that. Okay, and later we created two labels, username and password, and two entries for username and password. And we created a button called button confirm or confirmation button. You can just give button confirm or confirmation button. And yeah, we created a layout. Okay, and now if the user gives admin and admin, and if you give login here, it's gonna do nothing here. If you want, you can just give something like the user is girl coder, it's gonna show us pop-up, and at the same time that window is getting changed like welcome girl coder, right? Something like that. You can just give something like that if you want. For now, I didn't did for admin. If you want to do that, you can even do that for admin. It's pretty simple. So here we just created, and this is the most important thing that you guys must understand. This is all about logic, about this, how to get this username and password from that entry, and how to check both of them are matching or not, how to verify them, right? So here I just gave credentials because this is just username and password. But when it comes to a real-time projects, at the time you'll be having a database from where you are going to access that username and password. Just imagine that this is a mini database. Just a mini database having this username and password. Okay, so here the username is girlcoder and the password is 123456789. And here when you run this check password, what's actually going on here is, first it's gonna get those username and password using that entry. Just give ename.get, which is nothing but this entry name.get. From here, from this entry, we are going to get that input. And if you just give .get, it's gonna get those data, get that data first. Like this input is getting stored in this variable called name, and the password is getting stored in this password. Actually, there are two types of users, as I said before. Again, I'm saying there are two types of users. One is admin and one is user who is using that software. So here, if the user is admin, we're just checking whether the name and password is matching and both are admin. If both are admin, just create a message box showing that login and welcome admin. Just say to the admin welcome. And if the user is me, then it's gonna check if name equal to credentials of 0, which is nothing but this one, and if the password is credentials of 1, which is 129, which is the password. And if both are matching, then just say welcome back girl coder. And here, after showing this pop-up, once it's done, it's gonna destroy those two widgets. It's gonna destroy those two widgets. How can we do that? Just give w-info children inside that widget.destroy for widget in frame down. Means for widget in frame down, which is username and admin, it's gonna destroy these two widgets. And the same thing we did for this password one. Okay, so here we have 4 widgets, so we destroyed them. And once you destroyed these widgets, it's gonna create a new window. That new window actually shows the username, something like this one, welcome girl coder. And if you want to hide that password, you can just give equal to and I think this will work. And if you just give show here, and if you rerun this one, and if you give, yeah. Okay, I hope you guys understood how this everything exactly is working. So in this way, this project exactly designed. And if you want to change anything, you can change using those Tkinter widgets, and you can even change the design, you can change the colors. You can even configure the entire window if you want. And yeah, I hope you guys understood how everything exactly working, how this login system is exactly working. And yeah, I'll be back with one more interesting project using Python. If you like the video, then hit that cute little like button. And if you're new to this channel, and if you didn't subscribe to this channel, then what are you waiting for? Just go there and tap the red button over there so that you'll never miss any updates from us. I'll be back with one more interesting video. See you.